Sagittarius.
Hello Sagittarius, this is your astrological forecast for August 2016. What we have for you here this month is a lot of special things taking place. And let's start out with the full lunar eclipse, which will be on August 18th, 25 degrees in Aquarius. Now that's going to land in your third house, which has to do with communication, it has to do with siblings, neighborhoods, your closer community, or also short distance travel. So when we have an eclipse, it's all about something being eclipsed out of our life, all right? And it is because the universe has a way of speeding things up in your life, and by doing so, something will be removed. But let this worry us, because the universe will never take anything away that doesn't need to be in your life no longer. So whatever has served its purpose, it will just be eradicated so that it can open up new rooms so we can take a supersonic leap ahead. And that will be shown next month, pretty much where that direction is going to take. So on the 18th, circle that on your calendar. Third house being communication, it could be something here within this area that you might just see become eclipsed away. But let's start out with your focus this month. It's all in the 9th house area, which has to do with higher communication, education, long distance travel, your philosophy. It also rules the law and green cards, visas, all those kind of things as well. We have the sun, the new moon, and also Venus here. So you might just find yourself, Sagittarius, this month longing to take this long distance trip that you might have been planning for a while. And for those of you who are lucky, you might be able to see it come into fruition here this month. That new moon takes place on August 2nd, okay? So that is the day when we put down our intentions. The new moon also opens up for a lot of new possibilities. And those possibilities will be exactly within those areas that we have just discussed. So your intentions could be, even if you're not able to do any long distance traveling right now, you might put that out as a prayer, a wish on your wish list for it to take place, because the new moon has the power to stay with you for 12 months before it comes back to this area. Now, having the sun there in Leo, that's your sister sign. Venus is cruising through Leo, that's your sister sign. So you might have just felt here that your heart chakra is opening up. Venus has been cruising here along in July. So romantically, things might have been feeling really, really good for you. Venus being in the sign of Leo, it's all about the heart. It's about playfulness, the inner child to come out and be. So enjoy this area or this time, this first week of August, because then Venus will be moving into more the intellectual sign of Virgo. Then Venus will be thinking, strategizing, and also sometimes worrying. It's just because that's what Virgos can do. But it's also your 10th house. So that means that Venus, love, romance, money, the things that you desire, after the first week of August will be focusing on your career. So this is where it's going to be expanding those last 3 weeks there of August, and it will be joining up with Mercury and Jupiter that's already there. So this is a great time here, Sagittarius, to have talks about your career, to expand your career, to start a new job perhaps, or have any kind of discussions with those higher up, your supervisor, your boss, and perhaps maybe there could be money talks here, a promotion, or maybe a raise. So that won't hurt. And if they're not bringing it up, this is the time of the year for you, maybe, to bring it up if you feel that that is now what you deserve. The moon will be joining the rest of the crowd there. Jupiter has been working for you as well for pretty much ever since last summer. So you might have felt how you've been growing, how things have been expanding, new opportunities perhaps that have come your way. You really want to pay attention to that. Why? Because Jupiter is in your career house only once every 12 years. It gives you a whole year to expand your horizon. Right now you're going to have help with and from Mercury and Venus. The Sun will be catching up there at the later part, that last week of August, and also join the crowd. So this gives you all of that benefit. Mars right now, thank God, moving forward, so you're going to feel your energy now picking up. It turned direct at the very last day there of June. So through July, slowly but surely moving ahead. And it takes time for a planet to pick up speed after it's been in that backward motion. So here, August is when you're going to start really feeling it, okay? And it's going to be crossing your horizon. As we start off here in August, it's 29 degrees. It's just 1 degree away from your rising sign. And so it coming into your sign, you will have the benefit to see how Mars is really going to up its energy. It rules our physical energy, but also our goals, ambitions, our drive, and so forth. It coming into that first house, here Sagittarius, is empowering your personality. So stay tuned and know that you are definitely going to be making some great headway this month in August, especially when Mars will be conjuncting here with Saturn. A little bit later in the month, I'll talk a little bit more about it when I get to the calendar part, but that's when you're going to be infusing these two planets together, making some kind of decision that's going to have longevity and have the power to stay with you for a very, very long time. But let's talk about Saturn. Saturn has been retrograde now for X amount of months, and so it will be turning and going direct August 13th. So if you have felt that things have slowed down the last 4 to 5 months, where you were making headway to a certain point and then everything started cooling down, that's Saturn's retrograde motion. So after the 13th, it going direct, Saturn's going to be on your side to make sure that it's going to set down some roots. Saturn is the taskmaster, okay? So we live up to our responsibilities. It's also the planet of karma, right? And building good karma. So when that Mars comes in, you can start seeing from that point how things are going to pick up. We have Neptune still cruising your 4th house for home, family. So there's dream state going on. There's a lot of idealism and also a feeling of spirituality that's going down deep below within your inner core. You're searching, researching, sensitizing to those vibrations of Neptune, which are not just powerful, but also very clairvoyant. So a lot of you Sagittarians, you've been feeling how your higher chakras are starting to open up and expand in your field of inner vision. Uranus in the 5th house for love, you might see how things have changed up for you here these last couple of years, and Uranus always brings a lot of surprises. 5th house is also about your self-expression, the fun that you like to do when you have your leisure time. It's also about children. So some of you might just come to see how things here could also, out of the blue, when transits are right, snap you into whole new chapters in your life. But let's start talking about top of the month. So Sagittarius, we're starting off with a beautiful surprise. It could be emotional, it could be romantic. It's Venus. Venus being in your sister sign here of Leo, well, it's definitely going to be affecting you, the heart of your emotions, and the surprise could come from your loved one. Then again, also on the 1st, we have the Sun, which is the essence of who you are. We have it also aligning with a beautiful beam to Saturn in your 1st house, so you can come to see how you either will be opening up to some higher dimensional insight, thought, expansion. It could be you now grounding certain things that you've been exploring and looking for. You're in a phase here where you're really doing a lot of great research Sagittarius, and that is because the transits are currently in your ninth house for higher insights and spiritual insights as well. On the 6th and 7th, a little bit caution here when it comes to discussions. You and your partner might not fully see eye to eye upon a certain matter. And it doesn't have to even be your partner, but it could be somebody around you that you have respect for. You might see things a certain way, they might see things a different way. It could also be money matters that are coming into the picture. It could be directions that you're wanting to go, and so just kind of like listen, and you don't really fire up too much. You're going to have a better opportunity within a few days, but at least you'll see the drawing on the wall, and you'll know what's coming, because it's a whole week to 10-day process that this is going to take place. But on the 10th, you've had a couple of days to think and download what those discussions were all about, and then I'm seeing you coming to a clarity. And in this clarification, your communication is super clear and pinpointed. There's a feeling of transformation, and that takes place when you also see the other party's point of view, and you're able to kind of merge these two together. So there's a little bit more of a harmonious, balanced insight into what's going on. And that will come back up again, those discussions between the 13th and 14th. So what wasn't clear, whether it was a romantic thing or it was a financial thing, it could be either, it could be both, because Venus, again, is now under the loop, and or under the magnifying glass, should I say, and Saturn here really wants to straighten things out, and it also wants to clear out whatever might have been somewhat of a confusion, misunderstanding, or so forth. And misunderstandings normally happen when we're only thinking our own end of the stick, not really looking at one's partner, whoever that partner may be, and listening to his or her point of view. This is why things really get lopsided. But I'm sensing here that once you're through this process, 16th and 17th is going to bring surprises, insights, and healing. And this is also because that you have the sun, which is you, now in a beautiful trine to Uranus, Uranus being in your 5th house, the sun there in the 9th house. So I'm feeling that on the 16th you can go do something and have a lot of fun with it. You can enjoy it. It's all about you again coming forward with those, I won't say quirky sides of your nature, but your good sense of humor. I think it's going to bring a lot to the table, and it's really powering up for intimacy and passion and joy taking place. And this is also because Venus and Pluto are together here on the 17th. Now Venus, romance, right? Pluto, passion. Put those two together, what do you get, right? Now this Venus here now in your 10th house, Pluto in the 2nd house, we can see that what you've worked for as far as your goals and ambitions and your self-esteem, well, it's coming together. You're going to feel really as if you're in a state of renewal, in a state of transformation. You're feeling powerful. And once you've obtained this, I think the surprise of it all here, Sagittarius, is bringing you closer to the essence and the core of who you are. But let's also talk about the other flip end of Venus and Pluto when they meet like this. Then we're talking not just romance, but money and values and so forth. And Pluto coming in, really opening up a new doorway. And it is between your income house, the 2nd house of your chart, the 10th house of career, and put those two together. Well, you might just see that you might be up for a bonus or some commissions, some royalties, or a raise, like higher income coming in. You can really negotiate a great contract here on the 17th. So circle that on your calendar. If you know that a review is coming up, maybe you can request to have it on the 17th. Once that is all done and taken care of, I mentioned a little earlier when Mars will be touching upon Saturn, and they are conjunct here. This is on the 24th, and Mars being your drive, your goals, your ambitions, here with Saturn that can really lock something in long term. We're not just talking this day alone. Sure, this is a day where things can initiate, but it's what will come as a result of this initiation. This can linger with you for the next 2 years before Mars will be back around again. However, though, when it comes back around 2 years from now, Saturn's not going to be there. Saturn won't be here for another 28, 29 years. So whatever you do now, and it being in the first house, which actually rules your personality, you can come to see that you can set some roots or initiate something that can be with you for not just 2 years, but 28 years. This is a magnificent month for you to actually make some headway and grow new opportunities and maybe even new skills that you can start opening up and using. On the 27th, we have another magnificent day, and that's when Venus and Jupiter get together. Now, this is one of the blessed days of the entire year. They meet up once a year in a conjunction, and since Venus rules both money, love, and romance, and Jupiter expands everything it touches, well, when they're sharing that same degree in the sky, then it becomes infused and expanded. So love is going to grow here on the 27th. It's a great day for an engagement, a wedding, news about a new baby, anything else to be celebrated. And it could also happen just to be new love coming your way if you're single. If you are in a relationship, well, more power to the relationship. But where is this taking place in your chart? It's taking place in your 10th house for career. So this might just be where you're going to find that you're going to be expanding and celebrating something new. Those of you starting a new job on the 27th or close to it, give or take a couple of days on either end, well, this is going to be in effect. This will behoove you and you will just be a happy chapper. So as you can see, August is really good about starting new things. We have these conjunctions. We love conjunctions because it's the infusion of two planets. Whenever they meet, they will start off and trigger new beginnings. And since we had that eclipse on the 18th, well, these two infusions, they're coming in the aftermath of it. So you might already start seeing new beginnings from it and where it might just be leading you. But expect things to speed up. That's what August is all about. So listen here, Sagittarius. I love reading for you. Do listen to your moon and rising sign. I'll see you in September.